Hey y'all, today we're going to be going over every nick and cranny on the base. Let's get into it. Alright, so today we're going to be really going over everything on the base. I know I've done so many tutorials, but I really should have not been focusing so much on how to play it if you guys don't even know what it is. So I'm going to go over every little part of the base, show you guys what it does, because my hand is still injured. As of filming this, I'm seeing my doctor later in the day, so I should be able to let you guys know what's going on. If I already know by the time I'm editing it, it'll be up on the screen above me, but if not, then it's not going to be there, obviously. But today, we're going to be going over the parts of the base. And there really are three main parts with a couple different sections in those parts. So let's start there. So we're going to start with the part that you rarely ever see in these videos, which is this. So this is almost always off the shot, and when it's not off shot, it's barely in shot. And this is the headstock. So there's a lot that goes on in the headstock. So you'll see that this one is a very specific shape. And if I grab my Stratocaster from behind me, you'll actually see it's the exact same headstock shape. And that's because this is a Fender bass. And most Fender guitars that are in this style, which is if you're talking guitar, a Strat style, have this neck. You'll see if you have a Telecaster, it can be very similar. There's a slight difference. But all of them have the same general neck. And even Squiers have the same general idea. But you'll see there's a front and a back, and they're very different. And I'm going to go over what each thing is on here. So we have the general headstock, and that's what this is called. This is the head of the bass. You can figure out what everything is essentially from the fact that this is the head, and moving down you'll see how basic it is. But we start with the head. The head is pretty much your home base. So your head is always away from you when you're playing, but that doesn't mean it's not important. Your head houses your 4 tuning pegs, your tuning blocks, and your strings. So what that means is you have your tuning pegs, so that's what you're going to actually physically use to tune your bass. You have your tuning blocks, which is where your strings physically sit, and you can see mine actually have some green on them, so it's easier to see. But you can actually see that everything on here is being looped. So that's where your strings house, and then on the back you actually see the workings of the tuning pegs. So I know it's kind of glary, but you can see here we have a gear right here, and that gear is what actually tunes your strings, because what you'll see is, so you turn this, and then there's some ridges on this. It's almost like a screw. And the ridges, as you turn them, will turn your gear one way or the other. And the gear has a screw down the middle, which is what it's turning. And that screw is connected to this. So you'll actually see, and I don't think you'll be able to see it the way I have the lighting set up, but if I turn this enough, you can actually see that very slowly these actually move. So there we go. Now it's in tune. But here we go. So that is our headstock. Let's move on to the next part. All right. So the next part is probably the biggest part when it comes to the bass, and that is your neck and your fretboard. So these are essentially two different things on the same thing. So this entirety of the thing, and I know it doesn't even all fit on shot, is the neck. And the neck runs from the base of the headstock all the way down onto the body. And on the neck, there's 2 pieces of wood. As you can see, there's a line, and there's a separation between this darker piece of wood and this lighter piece of wood. The lighter piece of wood is your neck, the darker is your fretboard. And then all around here on the back, you'll actually see I have a long brown stripe. And that stripe is where the truss rod goes in. Now, there's two different ways that they'll do it, and I actually don't know which one they did for this. I believe this one is an insertion. So there's two ways. They'll either insert your truss rod in at the end where it's a all one piece neck. They put it on, bolt it on, or put it on, because some of them are bolt on, some of them are stuck on, and this one is actually a bolt on. As you can see right here, we have the plate, the square plate. But along the back, you'll see these runs, and that's normally where the truss rod will be, if there's that there. But they also sometimes won't put the fretboard on immediately. We'll have the fretboard open, and that'll actually be a peg inside it. So that is your neck. Then there's a little more on the fretboard and what comes to mind. So you'll actually see underneath there's a whole bunch of stuff going on the fretboard. So you have the general nice dark oak of the fretboard, I believe. Then, actually no, it's rosewood. Yeah, I believe it's rosewood. But then you'll see there's these silver things. They're all over the place. And those are your fret wires. So you might be saying, oh wait, no, I thought these were the frets. But no, they're not the frets. The frets are actually the silver wires, but you don't press on the silver wires. You press right behind them. You press right behind them, and that allows you to play. Well, so that is what these are. And then you have your dots, and these just mark frets. So we have 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, and then there will be one on the 21st, if there was a 21st fret, but I have a 20 fret bass right now, just because it is a squire, as I previously mentioned. So here, let's move on to the next part. Then we have the bad boy of the bass, the body. So the body of the bass is what most people think of that really solidifies a bass as a bass. So the bass has many different body styles and looks. This one is a jazz bass, and there's tons of stuff on the body. So let's break down what the body of the bass really is. So on the body, and I'm actually going to move you guys down so I can talk and point things out at the same time. A little easier than normal. There we go. But you'll see there's a few different things right off the bat. We have our pickups, our strings, our bridge, and our controls. So let's start here. So these are the pickups. You'll see on here, it's just one strip with these little silver dots. The silver dots are not what you think. They're actually magnets. So what it is they're magnetic, and the strings vibrate. The magnets then pick up on that vibration through magnetic vibration, and that causes for the sound to be able to be amplified the way it is. So that's why there's these, but you'll also see on my Music Man, if you watch some of my earlier videos, you have the humbucker. So it's a massive pickup right by the bridge, and that one has 2 sets, and that is so that there's less of a hum coming out of the amplifier. Then we have the P bass pickups, and there's all sorts of pickups, and they're all for different things. Then down here we have our bridge. Our bridge is what holds onto our strings, make sure that they don't go anywhere. Then we have our controls. So our controls are very important, and they switch between basses. So you'll see mine is 3. I have volume, volume, tone. My volume here is for my neck pickup. That's the one right here. Then we have volume here is for my bridge pickup. And then we have this is my tone. So tone is what type of sound comes out, and then you have your volumes. On another bass, and again, I'm going to go to my Music Man, I have 4 knobs. I have 1 volume because I have 1 pickup, and then I have 3 tone, a bass, a mid, and a treble. So what that is that is an active bass, which means on the back, I actually have a battery pack. And I believe I've shown it in one of my earlier videos. If I did, then up in that corner, I'll have a link to where I showed it. I believe it's in my first video. But what it does is it actually allows me to create a tone that you would on an amplifier through my bass, so I keep my same tone no matter what, and I can just default out my tone on amps. And most times I use a default, but sometimes depending on what technique I'm playing, I'll boost the bass or boost the treble. It all depends on the song and what really calls for. But those are different types of basses. And then we also have our instrument jack. So that's also very simple and self-explanatory. Then we have this thing. Now you might be asking what it is. You might already know what it is, and it is a pick guard. So you might be wondering, why does a bass need a pick guard if we don't play with the pick? Some people do. I'm going to start with that. Some people do play with a pick. That's something. That's something that you need to know, is some people do play with a pick. And that is a choice that some people have made in their lives, and it is okay. I am not one to judge about that anymore. I was originally taught to, and then I realized that I shouldn't be, because I play with the pick a lot now. So I shouldn't be judging others for it if I'm going to be doing it. That's very hypocritical of me. But that's not even why. I chose not to judge about it anymore, because I realized, why am I judging about it? Why should I be judging people by how they play? They're playing bass. And this pickguard's really here because that's how all of them are made. They're made so that you don't hurt the body, and it holds in the pickups. You'll see this pickup is actually straight in the body, but this pickup is actually mounted to the pickguard. And that's just a style choice by the creators. Let's go and talk about the bass as a whole and how it functions. Alright, so overall, the bass works really pretty much in unison, where you on the body hit your string. Your string then, because it's being held by the bridge and by your headstock, is able to vibrate. And depending on how tight it's being held by that headstock and how much string it has, it vibrates at a certain frequency. And that is how the sound is made. And then that is picked up by your magnets in your pickup. And that's put through the wire into your jack, into your amplifier. And so for that, that is how your sound comes out. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. It makes me want to keep making these videos. Along with that, if you have any more questions, make sure to hop into my Twitch streams. I'm live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. and Friday at 10 a.m. And we just really chill. It's a lot of fun. And if you have any questions, you can hop in there. And if maybe I don't answer your question on stream, or you want a lot of help playing, you can go hop into our Discord. Link is also down in the description. And we have some great people over there who are always willing to help and be helped. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And also make sure you go check out our merch store down below. Just opened up last week. Already got a great response. A lot of people are very excited about it. So make sure you guys go check that out. I'll thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.